So this car has this nice little AGM Odyssey battery built into this tiny little battery hold down bracket that is packaged quite nicely. I'd like to not buy another one of these if I can help it because they're not exactly cheap. So I tried reviving it with my normal battery charger that I use for the Porsche. And I think I checked it first to see what voltage it had, and I can't remember if it was 0 or 1 volt, but it was very low. So then I came over here, connected my charger. Whoa. It's a Harbor Freight charger, so it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it seems to work fine for your typical streetcar lead acid battery. So fortunately, this charger has a AGM charging mode, and then I could see that it was doing something. It was at whatever the initial voltage was, 1 volt or 2 volts or something, and then over time it slowly got better and better and better. But at some point, it sort of just reaches a point where it stops charging, and then it doesn't quite get to the 12 volts, and the charger tells me that it's given up. So after sitting on the charger for a couple of hours, this is what happens. This thing, I think, is telling me that this battery is dead, or it's dead to the charger. So yeah, this charger is not going to do anything for this battery. Let's check how many volts are on it now. .2 volts. So at least it's not 0 volts or 1 volt like it was initially, but yeah, I think I've reached the limits of what this charger can do. So it's time to bring out the big guns. So a friend of mine who maintains a very big vintage car collection recommended this unit to me because I guess they deal with lots of cars that sit, lots of batteries to be maintained, and so on and so forth. This guy apparently will charge and also repair batteries. So recover lost battery capacity and restore batteries to original performance. So since my trusty Harbor Freight charger couldn't do the job, let's see if this one can do it. Okay, so let's see how this thing works. I've got the terminals connected to the plug, just going to the charger. And now let's plug it into the wall. Ta-da. Okay, it's alive. What do the settings tell me? 12 volt. Mode. 12 volt AGM. I guess that's where we want to be. It's gonna lithium. Yeah, that's all you do. 12 volt AGM. So let's just let it sit there and marinate overnight. And let's see if this thing can bring this battery back from the dead. Okay, so this is absolutely a trip. It's been 24 hours plus another half day. It's in the evening now. And this charger is doing its thing. It's got this green slow blinking light, which I believe indicates that it's almost fully charged, but not quite fully charged yet. And yeah, so this battery might be actually alive again. I'm gonna let it sit until tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow we've got a solid green light, and then we'll test the voltage, and hopefully it's somewhere above 12 volts. But yeah, man, this is awesome. If this works, then the price of the charger was cheaper than a new battery. So fingers crossed. It looks like we're almost there. It's been 48 hours on this charger, and we still have the slow blinking green light. I'm not sure if you can see it through the camera, but it just very faintly goes in and out. So it looks like, I actually don't know if it's any charged any more than yesterday, but it looks like it's still working on it. So yeah, we'll leave it hooked up and see what happens. Just for kicks, I unplugged the charger just to see where we're at voltage wise, since the charger was telling us that we're not quite there yet. So let's see what we got. 11 and change. Okay, all right. So definitely better than what the Harbor Freight charger got us up to, but that makes perfect sense. It's still getting there. Let's see if we can get it up to above 12. Well, after 2.5 days of sitting on the charger, it looks like this is a no-go. 2.5 days later, yeah, this little dead battery light is lit up. So let's see where we ended up with charge-wise. Unplug this temporarily and see where we're at voltage-wise. Looks like we never got past 11 volts and change. So I don't know. Looks like that might be it for this battery. I guess we'll take it out and replace it with something that is the exact same size. I did find I could replace this with another Odyssey PC680, I think it was, AGM. And I did find some Amazon alternatives that are like $50 that are AGM batteries as well, that are in the same form factor, so that I can reuse this nifty little battery hold down cage. So yeah, we tried our best. Battery's dead. I guess we'll look for some alternatives. So in case this wiring is being counterproductive, because well, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull this battery out of its cage and try to charge it one more time while disconnected from the car, just in case something with the chassis is not being helpful with the charging situation. Fortunately, these bolts are metric. Okay, we're going to try to revive this thing one last time out of the car. So with one terminal disconnected on the battery, you plug in the charger, hold this button down for 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, till they start doing that. And then you go 12 volt AGM. And then you connect the other terminal. And now it's gonna start doing its magic in Genius mode to try to save this battery. So let's see what happens. This will be my last try before I trade it in on a core charge for a new battery of some sort. Also, big shout out to whoever made sure that they continued with metric fasteners on here and not just got lazy and put a bunch of Imperial threads from Home Depot. Nice job. You did a great job here. Hopefully the rest of the car is like that as well. Okay, I unplugged this thing already, but earlier when I walked in, it gave me the little dead battery icon. So let's see where this thing ended up so far voltage-wise. 11.87. Man, it's so close. Each time it seems to be getting better and better. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep going and just see what happens, see if it hits 12 volts next time or something. I don't know. We'll see. Big experiment. Here we go. One more try. Connect one terminal. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Okay. AGM. Now it's going to do the scanning thing and hopefully give us 12 volts tomorrow. So by now I've forgotten how many attempts this has been, but I've been at this every day since last Saturday. And it looks like now, well, it stays solid green for, I don't know, like a minute. And then it very slowly, faintly blinks a couple times and then it stays green again. So that's a good sign. It hasn't given me the dead battery logo again. So just for kicks, let's see where the battery voltage is at and see what we're working with here. This way. Negative, positive. Whoa. Hello. 12.3 volts. That's pretty freaking good, man. This thing was at like 1 volt or something at the beginning, and now it's over 12 volts. That's pretty awesome. I think we're going to call this fully charged, and I'll run it through its repair procedure. What do they call it? A desulfation process. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay. Okay, so this 12 volt repair mode is blinking, which is supposed to indicate that it's not fully charged as we originally thought. So I need to put it back into regular charge mode and let it continue charging. So I just unplugged it. Gonna plug it back in. Alrighty. Back to 12 volt AGM mode. First LED is blinking slowly. I think it's evaluating the state of charge. Okay. Second LED is on. Third LED is on. Getting there. All right. Making some progress here. So the green LED is on, but it's blinking, so it's still evaluating. Okay. Yeah. So it's still indicating the same as before. The green is blinking slowly, so it still has a little bit of ways to go. So we'll just let it cook, and we'll see how it is tomorrow. All right, so this thing has been here almost an entire week. Started it on, I believe, last Saturday, and it's Friday night now. And this charger has truly impressed me because it started with a battery that was essentially dead, and now it's not fully charged, but like 90-something% there. Yeah, so I'm super impressed. Let's see. I'm gonna probably call this good. I'm gonna see where we ended up. Let's see what we got. 12.8 volts. That's pretty awesome. I mean, for a, what is it? This thing was made in 2016, so it's almost approaching 10 years. It's October now. So yeah, this is almost a 10-year-old battery that had been dead for probably a few years, maybe at least 2-3 years, sitting in the back of a shop. And this charger brought it back. Should I replace this battery? Of course, and I'm going to eventually. However, these are expensive. I think I checked, they're about $170. And as you know, this car has a lot of engine work ahead of it, so it's not going to be running for quite some time. So in the meantime, I'm going to put this back in the car because it's the perfect fit for the little battery cage, and it has enough juice in it to be able to at least work on the electrical system and sort out the wiring and test out circuits and stuff. So back into the car it's going to go, so I can keep it on this charger and trickle mode or whatever. And yeah, pretty happy. This thing saved me. This charger was less than the price of a new battery, and it saved me some money. So I'm pretty happy, and hopefully this thing will save me more money, extending the life of other batteries in the future. But yeah, I'm going to call this project successful, and I'll put it back in the car, and we're off to the next thing. Okay, so battery's back inside the car, and funny thing, I noticed when I took the battery out that there's a stud. There's the end of a stud and a nut poking out from the bottom of the floor into the bottom of this battery case, which really freaks me out because at some point that protrusion could rub through the case and all the acid would leak out and we'd have some big problems. But I'll leave it there for now, and then at some point I will go underneath the car, remove it, and replace it with a weld nut under the floor, because that end of that stud and the nut are actually a bolt that's holding up the exhaust. So yeah, it's kind of necessary, but not sure I like the way they did it. And it's basically that bolt head that you see right there going straight up. So I'll have to replace that somehow in the future. But for now, this is okay. A couple of things I did to sort of improve electrical a little bit is cleaned all the terminals. I drilled out these brass posts a little bit bigger, and I put bigger bolts through it, metric, just so you have more clamping force on both of the terminals. I put my little trickle charger connector on there for now, and this positive terminal had a big old open bare spot here, and it's really close to the ground, which was freaking me out. So I just put a little bit of heat shrink on it with the integrated glue. So hopefully that at least helps keep me a little bit safer for until I can do a better solution here with the electrical. But yeah, now that we have a live battery, let's see if this car will do some things. Or let's see if the battery is strong enough to at least let me play with the electrical. Let's go to the main. Okay, main power turns on. Let's see. Yep, things are happening. Do I have a fan? I don't think I do. But yes, things are working. Great. Awesome. So that concludes our little electrical adventure, and we'll press on in the next video. Thank you very much.